I had a coach tell me that my dream was a waste of time, and I believed it. I was planning on having this talk outside on the deck with the lake in the background, but as you can see, it is a beautifully dark and cozy stormy day. So we're inside, and you guys can probably hear the sound of the rain and the rain chains throughout the video. And this is just a completely different energy. I'm taking care of my friends' dogs while they're away on a short trip, and they are such amazing sweethearts. I absolutely love them to pieces, and we're gonna have this chat, and then I'm gonna introduce you to them. One thing I've thought about talking about for a while is my relationship with social media, because it hasn't been a great one, and I think this is a conversation that people should talk about a little bit more than I've seen it talked about. After I went through the challenges with my health, actually during that process, I had started to post primarily on Instagram and share motivational, inspirational things and lessons of what I had learned and how other people could get through what I went through or similar, and generally trying to provide support for people in dark times in their life. That's always been really, really important to me. And like I said in, I think it was the last video, I never want anything to take you guys as long as it took me to get through. And that is the whole point in learning lessons and paying things forward so we can all collectively get better. So that, I feel like, is my part to play. And that is why I showed up on social media in the first place. I got some pretty great feedback on my YouTube channel years ago. I think I started it like 9 years ago. And it went well. It really impacted a few people's lives, and I got really supportive comments. So that was amazing. That said, I was stuck watching a lot of accounts around me grow and get attention, and mine never did. And that was really hard considering how much I put into it, how much of my heart, because it meant so much to me. And it was also really confusing too, because I didn't understand why I wasn't able to impact people the way that other people could. I've had multiple businesses before TRM, the Resilience Method, but this was my first online digital business. With the entirety of the business, I knew that I had to have a social presence, an online presence. And so I threw myself into social media, and I paid multiple coaches more money than I would like to admit to teach me how to grow. I remember the first coach I had straight up tell me that a book was a bad idea and why would I waste my time on that. And I took her advice, and in hindsight, it's probably a good thing that I did, because The Art of Being Human would not be the book that it is right now because of the place I was in when I wrote it and the knowledge and wisdom and everything that I had acquired by that point in time, because that was a few years later. But still, I had a coach tell me that my dream was a waste of time, and I believed it. I gave my power away to that. And that was a hard lesson. I paid her a lot of money, and the next one promised to help me, tried, but didn't, because nobody was willing to actually look at what I was trying to give the world, because it doesn't fit into a cookie cutter mold. And that is a problem that we're seeing online a lot, is that people try and fit you into a cookie cutter mold, and they think they know what they're looking at when they really don't, because they don't take time to be inquisitive and communicate and ask the right questions and genuinely understand what your intentions are and your goals and dreams and the energy behind it. I had ended up hiring a few coaches after that too, all with the same results. And all that to say, like, everything happens at the right time. I learned a lot from that. I learned a lot about social media, about myself, about the process and what I don't want to be in that process. And that is ultimately what changed my relationship with social media in the first place. What really started to get me was the methods that a lot of people use to attract attention online. I found most of the methods based in shame, a lot of the sales based in shame, and it wasn't making me feel like I was genuinely showing up. And that was extremely frustrating, especially after the amount of money I had paid to be taught these things. There's a lot out there that is seriously on the brink of being very immoral. And I was starting to see that more and more. So it didn't, let's take Instagram for instance. It didn't sit right with me to go and find accounts and get attention from them by leaving a certain number of likes or a certain number of comments or sending them random messages and saying, hey, like, how are you today? It's so not real, and that is incredibly frustrating. And then yeah, you can get people back to your account and help them with the information you have, and this is what people are using to justify these actions, and I don't think that that's right. In any way, it wasn't right for me, and that is the biggest thing, because if it doesn't feel right for me, I'm not going to do it. What happens a lot with Facebook groups too is people will go into a Facebook group. I've had them in mind when I was running one, and they would come in, they would do live streams, and they would poach your people. And there's a lot of this poaching going on. There's poaching of content, there's poaching of members of other people's groups, duplication of paid courses and stuff like that. There is so much, like, this is rampant. It's like this really weird gold rush mentality. It's almost like it's actually, I've had this discussion with multiple people. It's kind of like a pyramid scheme, and you are in a way feigning being genuine by fitting your genuine spirit and energy into a schedule of posts and scripts. And it's like, okay, on Thursday I'm going to post a script that is going to start with, this is really hard for me to open up about, and then I'll open up about that. But it is very scripted, and that doesn't feel genuine, because even though you can try and show up genuinely, if you're still trying to fit that into this box of parameters, that is not being genuine at all. And that is my personal opinion. There's a lot of people that will disagree with that. But all of the above, like all these methods, just felt really wrong to me. But I kept going, because there was this carrot, this promise that if you stick around long enough and you keep consistent and you hustle, you're going to get there. And no matter what happens in your life, you push through. You don't take your foot off the gas pedal. Like, somebody in your family dies, you still show up and post. And I don't think that's coming from a very good place. Hustle mentality is quite damaging, and I'm one for working really, really hard. I'm not against hard work and dedicated focus. But at the same time, if you shame somebody for not working hard enough or not keeping up pace all the time, that is extremely unhealthy. It's unhealthy to have those expectations of yourself. It's unhealthy to relentlessly operate at that speed without giving yourself the natural ebb and flow of rhythm that should be there, because you need to rest, you need to reset in between these pushes. Otherwise, you're going to crash and burn. So to be taught that and to be shamed for not keeping up or not posting right or not trying harder or all of these things, like, that is not right. Another thing that I find very, very hard to swallow is the amount of shame that happens in sales calls. So if you get a message, do you want to hop on this free consult? We can chat, we can figure out where you're at with stuff, and maybe I can help. It sounds great. 15 minutes, done. Maybe I can learn something. But then on that call, you get shamed, because if you don't purchase the program, if you don't, ooh, I love it. It's so stormy. This is making me super happy. Can you guys hear that? Oh, storms are the best. If you're shamed during that call for not purchasing, and like it can be harsh, they can be harsh, and I don't think that's right. And so I was taught to have that approach, to have a comeback for every single thing. Like, oh, I don't have enough money, I don't know if I can purchase your program. Yeah, you need to prioritize this. You need this in your life. Shame. It doesn't matter if you don't have the money for this. You need it, so you should buy it. And I have been sold so many things that way, and it makes me really angry to think about. And at the same time, I've learned a ton from it, because I know that I do not want to run my business that way. I will not run my business that way. And it was a conclusion that took me a long time to come to, but it was the only thing that made things feel okay. And it just had to be that way. I am used to going my own way and going against what people tell me is right. But yeah, I was stuck in this weird pattern of forcing posts, forcing genuine communication, which turned out to be not that. In the end, I got really tired of trying to force myself into the box that other people told me I should fit in, that other people told me my product should fit in, even though the resilience method and what I teach is absolutely nowhere even close to anything I have seen before, and especially the things that are sold the way that I was told to sell mine. So to step away was the best feeling. After a lot of years of trying to grow my accounts, it was really hard to watch everybody around me growing and not me. And that still happens today. I have given up on Instagram and Facebook because I know they will never grow. If they do, it's because of something external outside of that system, because I've done everything. But I have found a new home on YouTube, and I'm really grateful to be here, because it is, in a way, really silent from the chaos of these other platforms. I find if I open up TikTok, if I open up Instagram, Facebook now, like it's loud, it's aggressive, it is so it's just aggressively trying to get your attention, and it kind of in a way wreaks havoc on your energy. It is just so much, and it's so noisy, and YouTube is free of that noise. Granted, I pay for premium and I don't get ads when I watch YouTube videos, but I'm sure that helps. But still, the energy here is much different. Another thing is, I poured so much of my heart and soul into Facebook stories. I shared so much. If you've watched my other videos, you will have seen the talks that I do. I was doing these on Instagram stories. I put so much heart and soul into these chats because I love them so much. And I can't wait till I can actually do live streams on here, because I used to do live streams on my in my Facebook group all the time, and I love them. But yeah, I want to bring those back. But my point is, I was creating all of these videos that would disappear after 24 hours. And I am sure that if I had put all of that energy into YouTube in the first place, my experience would have been completely different. But I wanted to open up this conversation because I think it's important. It's important to understand what is behind these accounts, what's behind these messages, what's behind these comments. There's a lot of automation, and obviously now there's a ton of robots, and that's something I don't understand. I just know that there's a lot of accounts up on there doing automated things like comments and follows and stuff like that, and they're not people at all. I wanted to bring that up because I think social media is a beautiful thing and a powerful thing, but at the same time, on the flip side of that, there's this dark, calculated aspect to it. It's very tactical, it's very strategic, and I want no part of that anymore. So I took all that information, I used it to learn what I absolutely do not want to do, and now I am just quietly starting over. And that's okay, because I am here for you guys, and I appreciate every single one of you, and I want to bring you so much value. And that's not just in knowledge, but I want to be able to share days like this. And impart some of that calm that it makes me feel onto you through video, because that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful way of transmitting and impacting somebody's day. So that's what I want here. I want to just keep that peace and just have beautiful content for the sake of having content, and not to reach a certain number of subscribers or make a certain amount of money. Like, I just I want it to be real. That's what it comes down to, is I want it to be real, because everything I was taught to do was against my integrity, and that's why I fell wrong. Moving forward, here I am. This is me. I'm not super great at editing. I'm not going to claim to be great at this. I want to take this channel one step at a time. If you have watched this far, thank you. Let me know if it's too early to do a Q&A. I would love to do a Q&A with you guys, because you are all... Actually, you know what? Introduce yourself in the comments if you don't mind. I would love to meet you. I would love to just get to know my new community here. And thank you for listening. I think it's a really important conversation to have, like, on a regular basis, to pull ourselves away from social media and the online world and just give it perspective. Because, you know, this is a big part of being human. That's why I wrote The Art of Being Human, because we are so deep and spiritual and dynamic, and life is pretty crazy sometimes. And the online world can be, it can suck us in so incredibly well, and we can be lost in there before we know it. And so to question things and to understand them from an analog perspective, a human perspective, and just say, hey, like, not all is as it seems. I think that's a very healthy thing to do on a regular basis. So let me know if you've had similar experiences on social media. Let me know if you've had weird messages, and messages that hurt, messages that carried shame, messages that carried enough shame that they made you purchase something. You know, it's marketing. It's the dark side of marketing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that for now. Oh, I was gonna show you the puppies. Let's go see the pups. I just realized I forgot to use my microphone once again, even though I brought it. Jemmine, hi, come here. This is Gemma. Go girl, go girl. This is Ruby. Gonna take them for a walk pretty quick, and hopefully the wind and the rain die down a little. I don't care how many people you have to go against to be yourself. Do it anyway. Yes, we're all in this together, but this life is yours. You don't want your one go around to be anything less than intensely lived, beautifully lived, and entirely fulfilling. Who you are in real life needs to dictate who you are online, not the other way around. I don't know about you, but I have spent far too much of my life fighting to become comfortable with the person I am, to just give that up to a whole bunch of aggressive, you should or you need to advice. Be yourself, online and off. It's all this world really needs. And if you have to travel to the ends of the earth to protect your integrity, do that too. It's the only way we create a better space for ourselves and the people we share this life with.